Hello, my name is Lisa. Cape Town is my home. I really love this place and its people, and I'm here to help you love it too. We're about to take a deep dive into Cape Town's vibrant city culture and creative scene to help you understand why life in the inner city is so rich and rewarding. In this episode, I'll show you how to start mornings in the city centre. We'll meet locals at one of the most colourful and historic markets in the city, find out how historic sneaker stores have been fundamental in shaping some of the country's most prolific creatives, plus explore historic Long Street, jammed with fashion, art, food and so much more. I'll sprinkle in some of my favourite food and drink spots along the way, just for you. Remember that Cape Town suburbs all have a rich and meaningful story to tell. But in this episode, we'll focus specifically on the suburb of the city centre, around the central business district. Very few suburbs offer such a rich and concise introduction to the city's history and heart, and I'm about to take you through a virtual tour to show you everything you need to know. But you're welcome to jump ahead at any time. Just use the timecodes in the description below to skip to the locations you're most interested in. Also, in case you missed it, this is episode 2 of my beginner's guide to the city centre, where I bring you along to some of the spots that I've mentioned in my interactive digital guide. Not only will the series show you what to expect when you visit, but you'll have front row seats to local life, as I meet with some of the suburb's most influential characters, helping shape the city into what it is today. There's a lot to explore, so let's dive right in. Now, you know breakfast is the most important meal of the day, and I'm really going to need it because today we have a jam-packed itinerary lined up. I'm sitting in Gigi's rooftop restaurant, perched atop the gorgeous George Hotel. I love the eclectic interiors, the hanging garden, and the views of the surrounding heritage buildings all along St. George's Mall. If you pop around the corner, on the sun deck, you'll spot a very impressive mural, a sweet little clue hinting to our first location of the day. So we're heading to a flower market, but not just any flower market. This is a central part of the city's heritage. There have been flower sellers along Adderley Street for centuries. I'm the third generation of my family who has been coming to this very spot to buy blooms. My mum, my aunt, my grandmother all travelled into the city over the years just to buy flowers from here. Now, of course, the flowers at a market like this are beautiful, showcasing the bright colours and the biodiversity that this region's flora offers. But the stars of the show are the flower sellers themselves. These stalls are mostly small-scale, female-owned businesses that have been passed down through generations. Not only are they experts in their field, but these famous personalities really make this section of the city what it is today. From singing and joking with pedestrians passing by to their broad and infectious smiles, these women are a common point of interaction for everyone in the city.
I love you too. I love you too. Hi, I'm Fadwa Sessman. I currently own Fadwa's Flowers on Adderley.
That mural that we saw earlier was of Fadwa and her sweet, late mummy, Hatta, from whom she inherited this flower stall. She told us how she was previously working an office job as a debtor's clerk before she decided to come take over from her mum at the market.
I saw my mommy meet different types of people, all the faces, the smiles she put on their faces with the flowers. I love
it's the best
that.
place to work here.
Yes.
It's the best office to work. We're going to add the details in the description below to make sure that you can come and check out Fadwa's store. We'll leave her WhatsApp number there as well. They do WhatsApp deliveries. You can even video call her and check out the flowers that they have in season.
If you want it to be delivered, we do that as well. Small fee applies, of course, with love.
With lots of love from Adderley Street to you.
Thank you. Bye.
Whether you're mourning a loss, celebrating a new birth, proposing or honouring an anniversary, these are the women that we come to for all of it. Many of the ladies here are also often of Cape Malay descent, and so you'll sometimes catch us speaking Afrikaans to one another, a Dutch-like language which is argued to have originated, or at the very least been strongly influenced by, the Cape Malay community with their Arabic roots.
Prachtig, Fadwa.
Prachtig, my stad.
Afwan. What does Afwan mean? You're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome. Inshallah, you have a blessed day.
and may you be in the protection of the Almighty.
A prime example of the beautiful complexities of Cape Town's language and culture, demonstrating itself right here on the streets.
Now, there are so many examples of these kinds of heritage sites integrating into everyday city life in such fascinating ways.
We're using the Golden Acre as an entrance point to an underground walkway network, which connects us to our next location. This is a super handy way to avoid traffic congestion during the work week. When the site for the Golden Acre Shopping Centre was first excavated in the 1970s, they came across an important historical site called Wagner's Reservoir. Now remember the water streams that we learnt about in episode 1 that made the Cape so appealing to colonial ships passing by? Well, this reservoir was part of the system built in the 1660s to store that fresh water. It's so interesting how this piece of history has been captured and preserved right in the middle of a bustling shopping mall. Continuing through the throughway, there are many exit points to choose from. We're looking for the exit lower down on St. George's Mall.
So the Golden Acre has a whole bunch of different routes that you can take to access street level again, but this route particularly is very handy because it comes up right outside our next heritage spot, which is a sneakers store.
Jack Lemkus was first founded as a sporting goods store in 1935. They were the first to bring major sporting brands like Adidas and Nike into South Africa, and the building and business has remained in the family for generations. With the rise of streetwear and sneaker culture, Lemkus has really built up a name for themselves and continues to be a central hub for all things urban culture today. Now there's so much to explore at this location. A sneaker store below, a smash burger bar outside, then 6 stories above of art galleries, co-working and artist residency spots.
Next, we are heading upstairs to meet up with an old friend of mine from high school. Jared is running a Residency 28 program, and we want to find out more about why this space is such a creative incubator. But first, coffee.
Cedar Coffee is a local coffee roasting brand. Started by 2 friends, Lee Wenzel and Winston Thomas, South Africa has an exceptionally well-developed specialty coffee industry. They didn't enjoy how specialty coffee could sometimes feel exclusionary to those who weren't as knowledgeable or as involved in the process. They wanted to create a brand that not only advances sustainable coffee roasting, but makes excellent coffee welcoming to all. This theme of making enjoyment of something special accessible to all continues upstairs. Jared Leet curates and manages a groundbreaking artist residency program right here.
Jared, I feel like there are so many galleries to choose from in Cape Town that it can sometimes feel a bit overwhelming. I really appreciate how this one is creating a sustainable environment for the artists here. How are you guys creating that behind the scenes? Like, how are you making that possible?
I think the biggest thing for us is to maintain an artist-centered approach to gallery work, which for me entails open lines for communication, transparency around things like sales and contracts and any of the ins and outs to do with collaboration. And then secondly, through our residency program, we try to be very supportive in helping to fund projects from the ground up, as opposed to just consigning them and then profiting from them down the line.
So in case the viewers at home missed it, Jared and I used to obviously go to school together. We grew up together in boarding school, and it's been so special for me to come into his space and see how he has developed and is really fitting into this beautiful environment that he's created. I'd love to know, Jared, on a personal level, like what of this process and what of this experience has been the most rewarding for you?
It's really interesting to be able to take risks on people and to do cultural work that artists can really claim afterwards. The gallery I consider to be a kind of blank canvas, not only for artists but also for me.
So guys, Jared was just telling me about how the space is not only focused on artists but has also have a long-standing history with fashion designers.
Yeah, so for a while this floor where we are now was entirely dedicated to kind of housing and exhibiting exciting local designers at a time where they didn't necessarily have a home or a place where someone could regularly go and see their products.
So interesting finding out more about where a lot of these creatives are being incubated.
Now, let's head across to a space showcasing some of their work, alongside high-end designers from across the continent. Merchants on Long is a carefully curated concept store. selling only the best in African fashion and design. They stock high-end luxury goods from designers all across the continent and make use of strict ethical and sustainability criteria when deciding on who to stock. I'll be meeting up with their primary buyer and dear friend, Samendra Chetty, who is a well-versed expert in the global fashion and design industry.
Samendra, I know we both share a common love and passion for local creativity and sustainable fashion, but walk our audience through why people should be excited and passionate about the South African design scene as a whole.
I think there's something special about the storytelling that South African designers do, be that through their cultural heritage and craftsmanship that's been passed on through generations. For example, the Tebe Magugu Heritage Dress Collections, which showcases a wide reach of South African culture that we can all appreciate and enjoy.
Samendra just mentioned the Tebe Magugu Lebola Heritage Collection. The different printed artworks on every dress in the collection shines light on a wide variety of native ethnic groups in South Africa, all of whom follow their own version of the centuries-old Lebola tradition, a pre-wedding ritual and celebration. The dress we selected for me to try on is the Ndebele Lebola dress, a celebration of the Ndebele people. They are well known for their strong geometric patterns which they use to decorate their homes. Also, the world-renowned artist Esther Mahlangu is an excellent ambassador for the Ndebele heritage on a global scale. What a fabulous space to get caught up in. But there's so much more Long Street has in store for us, so let's get back out there.
So we've just learned about the latest in high-end fashion and design. Let's go and have a little look at more of a thrifting vibe. There are a whole bunch of interesting vintage stores all along Long Street.
But first, if you're looking for a quintessential Long Street cafe, Langham House is one of the city's oldest coffee shops and has been owned by Dominique and her family for generations. A super cozy and nostalgic spot, perfectly positioned halfway to our next location, the Long Street Antique Arcade. Blink and you might miss it. Long Street Antique Arcade is a quietly marked indoor alleyway filled with stores selling vintage jewelry, decor and clothing. But today, we're visiting one of my favorites, Glitterati, packed to the brim with really good quality classic clothing items and accessories, which is always a much better choice than supporting fast fashion. Terry, the owner, has curated such a beautiful selection, and I always seem to find something I fall in love with every time I visit.
Sticking to the second-hand trend, Long Street has one of the best second-hand bookstores in town. Let's go check out Clarke's.
They have a really wide selection of books to choose from, but they specialize in books about Southern African history and politics, and you're guaranteed to find something super interesting and insightful. My favorite is their coffee table books by South African photographers. It's well worth popping in to browse the shelves and find a little hidden gem that you didn't know that you needed.
Guys, we made a friend in Clarke's bookstore. So as we mentioned, Clarke's has really built up a reputation over the years for having a really rich and interesting collection of both secondhand, pre-loved and new books. And it's just a really great place to come hang out. I'm sure that you will find something really interesting here. No, I don't know about you guys, but after such a jam-packed day of being culture vultures, I've worked up quite an appetite.
South China Dim Sum Bar is quietly tucked away amidst the hustle and bustle of Lower Long Street. Now, it may look unassuming from the outside, but it's renowned as a Cape Town institution, serving up some of the best dim sum in the city for years. I love the pared-back menu, where you're basically guaranteed good food. Edmund and his team are always brilliant. Service is quick, food is great, and I feel refueled to tackle the rest of my exploration.
So just before lunch, we learned all about history and political views in paper form, but in case you're more of a visual learner,
Long Street intersects with a very narrow Church Street, jam-packed with some of my favorite art galleries. This is a great way to deep dive into a variety of local curatorial and artistic perspectives. There's no better spot to start off our Church Street gallery walk than on 99 Loop Street. We met up with the gallery's managing director, Georgia Stonehouse, who showed us around and shed some light on the principles that drive 99 Loop and the projects that they promote. This gorgeous double-story gallery has a distinctive focus on painting. The large, well-lit rooms showcase a mix of both emerging and established artists, giving visitors a chance to discover new talent and perspectives. I really appreciate how this gallery has a track record of supporting fresh artists and providing a platform for them to thrive. One of my other favorite galleries in this street is Eclectica Gallery, who champion Pan-African contemporary art. They have a carefully curated selection of pieces that interrogate issues facing a globalized world. Every time I visit this gallery, I'm introduced to pieces and artists who I so enjoy. We popped in to say hi to my friend Shamala, who owns the gallery, as they set up for their new exhibition.
You have such beautiful things on show. Come on, guys, let's go have a look. I always mention how I can never walk past here and not see something in the window that I absolutely love. It's so gorgeous, and this is incredible.
The artist is Salah Davids, and these are pins. It's pins pinned to memory, and that's the title of the exhibition. And it talks about our heritage, our Cape Malay heritage. This is absolutely important and really part of our Cape Malay story of how we came to South Africa as political slaves. But the overriding thread between both exhibitions is my people, because I actually come from both Christian and Malay. So I've traced back the heritage from my Christian, and that's like Cape Coloured, and my Malay heritage, and I brought them together.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this. And I love beautiful things and beautiful stories. What a special way to spend a lovely day in Church Street.
Now, no exploration of Cape Town's creative scene would be complete without a visit to AVA. The Association for Visual Arts is Cape Town's oldest non-profit art gallery, with origins dating back to 1850. Over the decades, it played a foundational role in South Africa's art history, including helping establish the South African National Gallery that we visited early in the series. As the country changed, so did AVA, evolving into an independent, inclusive space dedicated to cultural dialogue and creative expression. Today, it champions contemporary art and supports artists through exhibitions, funding, and skills development, making it a vital space for creative growth and artistic exchange.
So now that we've covered Church Street, it's only fitting that we head to the historic Methodist church.
And make a pit stop at the aptly named Heaven Cafe to grab a little afternoon pick-me-up. The owner, Mondley, is a well-known part of the suburb, famous for his broad smile and generous heart. He has such a knack for connecting with people and their stories. So many of us have come here for the coffee and left with a new friend.
Can you explain to us what is your particular favorite part of the section of the city and the energy that you experience here in this part of the city?
To be honest, it's the people and the culture and the diversity. We get to meet people from all over the world, that come to the Greenmarket Square area, to the CBD, and that's incredible. The CBD has a lot of issues, right? So people can come here and sit and chill, and get to interact with people who are not in that phase, that's very cool. I like that it's inclusive, and everyone feels like they can be here. Everyone is welcome in heaven. We do not discriminate.
We're almost rounding off our exploration of creative and urban culture in the city centre. But since we're right here, and Mondley did mention it in our interview, it's so easy to pop right over to the iconic and vibrant Greenmarket Square. Now, what was once a colonial produce market has become a hub for local crafts and a great place to stop by if you're hunting for souvenirs.
Caleb, what is your favourite piece?
Elephant.
Lucky
and happiness.
Lucky and happiness. Guys, if you come get your elephant, you must come get it from Caleb, ne?
Exactly.
That's the one.
Thank you very much.
So, cheers, have a nice one. Bye-bye.
My last stop is a gorgeous little corner spot just up the road called ANTHM. They specialize in creating a Japanese izakaya vibe, perfect for small bites and people watching while the city winds down after a busy day.
If you've enjoyed this content, I've got a surprise for you. I have a whole website dedicated to years of content that I've created to help you experience Cape Town to the fullest, plus heaps of interactive digital downloads. Now, this has only been part 1 and 2 of the city centre. There are so many suburbs in Cape Town that we have lined up to show you. But I'm curious, let me know what areas and what kinds of activities you're most interested in learning about. We'll make sure that you have all the information that you need to know before you go. Make sure you click the link below to jump straight into the next video, and I'll see you there. Bye bye!